Have you ever looked at something and thought, that could have been done so much better? Well, this cabin came across my feed, and after a little review, we can make it a lot better. To understand any plan, we first need to consider the furniture. So let's start with the dining table. This nook seems like the most logical place for one. This is a larger table, but this is also a larger home. It's natural to site the table on the center of these two windows, but we do need to account for the circulation space around the dining table. We need 3 feet or 90 centimeters from the edge of the table to the nearest wall or surface. And in higher traffic areas, we need a little bit more room. But this side's a little tight, and pulling it over starts to feel a little clunky. The table loses alignment with the southern face, and starts to encroach on the living room. So let's try changing it up for a round table. This opens up the space around the living room, and it's softer in the space. Next is the circulation required from the side entry. We need to keep this space clear for circulation up to the stairs and to the entry. We also need to consider the circulation by the island. It starts to choke off the space for the living room furniture. It's made the space long and narrow, which is hard to furnish. The space makes you feel far away from your company, and you feel squished up against the large southern wall. And lastly, we look at the rest of the circulation, which has created this dead space at the bottom of the stairs. Now we can maybe furnish that with a couple of armchairs, but with this path of circulation from the front entry and the stairs, it feels busy and uncomfortable, and I don't see a space like this getting used often. So maybe we finish it with a hall table, but that's about it. The kitchen island is huge, and yet there's only really space for 2 stools that feel comfortable. The rest of the space is too congested with the circulation, or you're just cut off by these 2 structural columns. Now this was a sneaky catch. When reviewing the plan, the fridge shown on the original is only 33 by 31 inches. For a home this size, that is small. Remember that this is the getaway cabin. You're going to need to stock that fridge for the entire stay. This sink has you looking out a small window, with your back turned away from the living room and dining room. And why look out that small window when you could be washing the dishes and looking out this view instead? And if you've been following along, you'll know I'm also not a big fan of corridor cabinets in the kitchen. They're hard to access, often cost more to build, and even if you use some slide-out cabinet to make the usage better, it's not great. In the bedrooms, the most logical place for the beds is against the back wall, but this ignores the view to the outdoors, and it makes you feel vulnerable to anything that may be outside. And it puts anyone in the rooms on display when anyone else is in the hall. And when we look at this hallway, it's just wasted space. Now, storage is always a must-have, but these 2 linen closets are in arbitrary locations. That storage space would be better served in the bathroom and the mudroom, where they're needed. And speaking of the mudroom, this space does not get the love that it deserves. It's crowded with the coat closet and the laundry machine, and yet this will likely be the entry point that gets used 95% of the time. But when the space fills with shoes, they become a constant tripping hazard. And there's nowhere to sit. An entry bench is such an overlooked piece of furniture in the home. This space should be a lot more welcoming. If designed right, it will feel right. With all those issues, this is how I'd go about fixing the spaces and elevate the home. Let's clear some things out and get to work. The fireplace is such a dominant force in the design, and the plan seems to ignore it. So if we focus on this little zone and create some alignment with the fireplace, we can start to consider how to fix the rest of the spaces. We frame in the bedrooms, and now the beds have views to the outdoor world, and you aren't vulnerable to anything outside. And as some would say, the bed is located in the command position. Next, we clear out and adjust the bathroom. This space slides up a little and gets a little larger. It allows us to bring the linen storage from the hall into the bathroom. I've added this tall piece of millwork that increases the storage of the previous closet space. Now let's tackle the mudroom. This space has gotten bigger too, and that does a lot for the layout. It allows us to consolidate the other linen closet into the laundry room as extra storage. We've kept the previous closet space and added the linen storage where it was needed. And if we flip this entry door and shift it up, just like this, we can add in a large entry bench with individual locker spaces and shoe storage below the entire space. And we even add a little more elbow room around the washer and dryer for when you have to sort the laundry. The kitchen is the next hurdle, so let's sort out what we have. There's this bank of storage, then this, and lastly the breakfast bar. So let's clear out the kitchen and put it all back. This block slides up here, then this over here. We build up the backside and bring over this and this. We filled this little hole, and then we bring over the counter space. And if we clean it all up, we get a space like this. Now these 2 posts are still an issue, but if we square off the second floor balcony, just like this, we can actually eliminate This post, and this actually reduces the construction costs and labor time. We just need to align this second floor line here with this wall. This reduces the posts and beams required to build the space and gives us an extra design detail. It frames in a lower ceiling over the kitchen and breakfast bar while expressing the dining area with a 2-story volume. And I haven't forgotten about this piece of counter. It's not needed and I'm not going to use it. In the original design, it was added because they needed to make the space feel complete. But it was just wasted money on an area you couldn't really use. So we're getting rid of it. So now let's review the living room. This space felt tight. It's long and narrow because of the forced circulation, but it would be a lot more comfortable if it was more open like this. But these stairs and this door are holding us back. So I'm going to get rid of this door and make it a window. And while I'm at it, I'm going to move this small window into the mudroom, just like this. Okay, so remember when we talked about highlighting the fireplace and keeping this circulation clear? You can now see that the stairs is problematic as it creeps into the space we've created. And with the unnecessary circulation it created, I think we can fix it. If we eliminate these steps and build a U-shaped set of stairs with a landing, we reduce the required circulation to the area in front of the stairs. When we head up the stairs to the second floor, the access point remains the same. And we've kept the access to the basement the same as well. And with all of that, the living room gets a whole lot better. We don't need a door to the deck here because we've made the mudroom so much better. And if we were to add another door to the deck, it makes a lot more sense to add it down here and shift the dining table over. This gives us better access to the large front deck for entertaining, and it's in an open path of circulation from the kitchen. It's how you can take a plan like this and elevate it to a plan like this. This is the before, and this is the after. Buildings are here for a long time and likely have many owners in their life cycle. And it's why I value critical reviews like this. It's crucial to get buildings right the first time. It saves time and money and makes better spaces that will be around for a longer time. Did I make this plan better or worse? Let me know in the comments below. And if you need help with your next project, feel free to reach out.